For today, and Reverend Claudia and I go way back. And I'm always grateful to her for a wonderful experience we had in winter time up at the Harmony Grove, doing a wonderful winter solstice play that she wrote and directed, and we had beautiful costumes made. It was so fun. And it's just bringing out anything artistic, creative, just enlivens you. And that's what Reverend Claudia does. She always brings in the questions, and the excitement and the inspiration for you to try new things and think about different things that normally we might have passed by. And associate, she is a minister here. We got an older one. Claudia Leonesio saw the spirits of both grandparents as a small child, which sparked her interest in metaphysics. Spirit brought her to Harmony Grove in 1984 for readings and spiritual growth. She received her certificates in spiritual healing in 2015 and mediumship in 2016. Doreen Virtue granted her certification as an angel intuitive in 2014. A professional theater artist, she worked for the California Arts Council as a teaching artist and in the public school system. She believes the worlds of spirit, the arts, and nature are intrinsically linked. She enjoys living in the Escondido countryside with her husband and the sights and sounds of nature. Let's welcome warmly, please, Reverend Claudia.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It's such a pleasure always to be here. I love this church. Okay. Oh, so new things are happening. New things are happening right now. The first thing that happened was it was raining while I was getting dressed, and I realized I had to put on a pair of like real solid shoes. I haven't done that for a while, so that's good. So as autumn leaves fall, there's a quickening in the air as Saturday's fall equinox approaches. Change is on the way for all of us. So please anchor your heart, anchor love in your heart for the planet. This is an ideal time for transformation for all of us. Visualize your ideal life rippling outward for the good of others. Marianne Williamson recently said in her blog, "We are using 20th century practices to solve 21st century problems." She is so wise. So it is no accident, I feel, that the United Nations chose the time of the equinox to promote world peace. As co-creators, try and imagine a more equitable world, not driven by greed. Thursday is the United Nations International Day of Peace, where 24 hours of ceasefires and nonviolence are observed. This year's theme is Actions to Build Peace. So students, artists, activists will present projects to foster peace to the United Nations. Their goal is to work together to build a world where compassion and empathy will overcome suspicion, intolerance, and hatred. Now, the sun moves into Libra on Saturday, late Saturday, the 23rd, marking the fall equinox. Now, the moment the sun crosses the equator on its journey from north to south is when it happens. Night and day will appear to be of equal lengths, and that energy will stay that way just for a few days. And then it's a celestial point of balance. And it's a great opportunity to also seek personal balance in our lives, as the days will grow slowly shorter as the sun moves towards our winter solstice. Now, the fabled lost city of the Incas, Machu Picchu, has a giant stone called the place where the sun gets tied. The stone is perfectly positioned so that each corner sits on the 4 cardinal points: north, south, east, and west. It is a solar clock that marks the spring and fall equinoxes and, of course, the winter solstices. Now, England's Stonehenge and Mexico's Chichen Itza pyramid serve the same purpose. The ancient Pueblo people of Chaco Canyon, New Mexico, were sky watchers. Their shamans carved spiral designs into the rocks to illuminate and track the seasons. These mystical monuments always fill me with awe as I see them and hear about them and read about them, because they're a testament of spirit, nature, and human collaboration. Now, one of my favorite spots at the equinox time is in La Jolla. We have the Salk Institute for Biological Studies. Now, the institute was designed so that the fall and spring equinox sunsets line up perfectly with their walkway to the sea. It's built in harmony and balance with nature. There are quiet areas for contemplation that are interspersed with orange and eucalyptus groves and incredibly beautiful views of the sea. Now, bold and brilliant scientists pursue discoveries ranging from cures for cancer to world hunger and climate change. This environment is designed to spark the imagination and contemplate the mysteries of the universe so that these brilliant people can help solve the problems that affect us all. And so I urge you to go there on sunset next week. So, in days gone by, harvest time impacted the life of all. The first harvest of grain was called Lammas. The process of cutting and threshing the grain involved the entire community because everybody had to eat. First, it was reaped using sickles or scythes. Then it was tied into sheaths by the older workers and stacked to finish ripening. Next step, it was milled and made into flour. Every step of the way, there were rituals and prayers to the gods of the harvest or to Saint Bridget. The first loaves of bread were made in the shape of a man, and then they were blessed by priests. Now the last sheaf of corn to be harvested was made into a corn dolly, which held the spirit of the corn. So it was carried very ceremoniously to the harvest feast so that all could share in the feast. Now, our early societies understood that feasting built community. All things must die before they can be reborn into a loaf of bread or a glass of ale. Some of you may remember the song that Traffic recorded, John Barleycorn Must Die. It's an old folk song, but it really illustrates this process. So the fall equinox is the second harvest, and our third and final harvest is at Samhain or Halloween time of pumpkins and squash. Our harvest festivals are held the world over as a celebration of gratitude for the bounty of nature. The Celtic priests of nature, the Druids, honored the green man, or the god of the forest, as his power was waning. Offers of cider, wine, and herbs were given to the trees in gratitude for their shelter and their wisdom. This is a time when the divine, human, and the other world came together. The Celtic calendar is a way of seeing time as circular as well as linear. And if you've ever looked at Celtic art closely, it's a series of crosses and knots. The eternal cycle of birth, growth, death, and rebirth. Every autumn, as leaves fall to the ground, They become one with the earth. Now, in ancient Greece, every fall after the grain was stored, rites and plays were performed to encourage the renewal of the crops. One of my favorites is the story of Persephone. In this sacred drama, she is kidnapped by Hades, god of the underworld. So Hades had long admired her, and he would always see her picking flowers. So he put a magical flower in the meadow, and then the moment she picked the magical flower, the earth opened up, and he took her into his arm, put her in the chariot, and drove her down, down, down into the underworld. Then, when she got there, she became the queen of the underworld. And she found that she really loved greeting and helping those who had just passed adjust to their new life. Soon Persephone did fall in love with Hades. When the god Hermes came to rescue her, she did not want to leave. Her grieving mother, Demeter, goddess of the earth's fertility and of grain, searched for her. In her grief, she forgot to let the rain fall, and famine gripped the earth. Hades persuaded Persephone to eat 6 pomegranate seeds. So Zeus had to intervene. So Zeus, king of the gods, decided since she ate the 6 seeds, she would spend half the year with her mother at Mount Olympus and the other half with Hades in the underworld. During the time Persephone spends spends away from her mother, Demeter causes the earth to wither and die in the autumn and the winter. And when Persephone arrives in the spring, she's reunited, and it signals a renewal of hope and the rebirth of abundance. The earth once again becomes fertile and fruitful. To me, I've been celebrating the equinox for many, many years, and it's a very, very special day because it gives us a real chance to reflect, I feel, on the year that has gone by. I try and start reflecting on with the spring equinox, and then go through the summer solstice, and then up to the equinox. So you can celebrate the fall harvest with black and white candles on an altar. Decorate a cornucopia with fall fruits, vegetables, pomegranates, and corn. Now, corn women, Persephone and Demeter, are one of many harvest goddesses. And another important symbol is the owl. The owl is a symbol of wisdom and insight. He can turn his head almost 360 degrees. He sees in the dark, and he can take off and land silently. He's a power animal of the goddess Athena, Merlin, and many others. But what I think is just wonderful is that owls discern deception, and they honor truth. They are keepers of higher wisdom, balance, and justice. Harvest time is one of great intuition. Knowing when the crops are ready to harvest is extremely important. Or when the time is right to present a carefully nurtured idea at work is very, very helpful. So, let your intuition guide your timing. Tune into your intuition and see what it tells you. Another thing to do is to restore balance in your home, celebrating a harvest meal. Our celebrations help us live in harmony with the shifting times. So use this time of universal balance to go within and face the darkness to regain the light. All things must die before they can be reborn. Balance the scales within yourselves. So is your life in balance with work and play? Do you allow yourself to have work and play? with your inner life, your outer life, and most importantly, the physical and the spiritual. The Egyptian goddess Ma'at of the Egyptian underworld judged all souls with a single feather on one side of a scale and their heart on another. So think of how we can raise our vibrations so our hearts are as light as a feather. I know that oftentimes, myself included, my vibration is not as high as it can be, as I would like it to be, and as high as it is good for me and the others around me. So that's something for us to all think about. One way to do it is to hold gratitude in your heart, especially for the life lessons that have helped your growth. For the soul, the fall equinox is the time of harvest once again. So harvest your inner fruits of awareness with thanks. Raise your vibration by counting your blessings. The true essence of the seasons is that all of creation is constantly in motion. The Celtic wheel moves forward. As Saturday night, when the sun moves into the constellation of Libra, is the equinox. Libra is often pictured holding a set of scales. This is the astrological sign of balance, harmony, and equality. The abundance of Mother Nature is at her peak. Honor the nature divas, spirits, and fairies in gratitude for all the unseen help they provide for the plant life that supports us all. Native American mystic White Eagle said, "Gratitude should be given to the etheric worlds, the angelic kingdom, and all the spirits of the elements, wind, water, sunshine, and earth. Honor the etheric workers who tend the plants for our sustenance, and the angels of the air who inspire your works of creation." I love that. They inspire our works. We did not do them all by ourselves. And so, see with your higher mind the waving of the golden cornfields. A divine law operates through the act of giving and the act of receiving. By creating a condition of love and harmony deep in your heart, you draw to yourself even more love and harmony. Angels are very, very close, bringing their light to humanity. Attune yourself to this invisible company of angels, and you'll find their power manifest in your daily life. Angels are pure light, messengers who come from the heart of Source. They vibrate at extremely high dimensions. When you feel you need to ask for angelic help, your soul needs to give permission, and it must be for your highest and best good. And at both the solstices and the equinox time, angels hover very, very close to Earth. The autumn equinox can be a spiritual journey. Reflect on the wisdom of the cosmos. In your mind's eye, visualize the Earth's journey around the sun. Their alternating circles of light and dark are revealed. You can see patterns of growth, decay, death, and rebirth. And know that we are extremely resilient. Honor what you have reaped. This is your spiritual bounty. It's time to complete projects or clear out what is no longer needed. Let go of that which has not borne fruit. Release what no longer serves you. Replace fear with confidence. Make love-based decisions. Develop inner wisdom and grace in your relationships. Like a breath of fresh air, bring balance into your life with positive change. Shift your consciousness to gratitude. This is an opportunity to step into your truth. And it's a very, very good time to go out into nature and a nature walk using all of your senses. And as you're walking, make your walking a moving meditation. And set your spiritual intentions for what you truly desire for your best and highest good. The autumn equinox is ripe with possibilities. Now, at equinox and solstice tides, prayer should not be said for just one person, but they should be said for the common good. It's a very magical time. The sun is halfway between summer and winter solstice. So pray on the equinox, if you can, at sunrise, because that's a time of appraisal and thankfulness. At noontime, honor the sun. Notice that the fall of your shadow is now longer than it was on the summer solstice. Face your shadow and feel the sun on your back. Bathe in the light. Become aware of your fusion of body and soul and your wonderful place in the universe. At sunset, give thanks for the light and the darkness as you prepare to sleep. Be aware of your body's rest and your soul's nocturnal journey. And of course, try and remember your dreams if possible. My hope for us all as we reap the fruits of our actions and deeds is that we learn how to plant the seeds of sister and brotherhood. Relinquish all thoughts of negativity and division. Remember how to respect and listen to one another. Seek common ground, knowing that we all have to share this beautiful planet together. May we answer anger, hatred, and greed with love. It is time to build a new future of wisdom, nurturing harmony and trust. And I just listened to an audio tape by William Shatner, from Star Trek, Captain Kirk. Mm-hmm. And he actually took a real, not fictional, journey into outer space with Jeff Bezos. He was on the second journey that Jeff Bezos took. And he was hesitant about going. He was very hesitant about going himself. But then he decided to do it because he would never have this opportunity again. And of course, because of who he was and his history with space, that of course he was asked. And so he decided to do it. And so there was there was some training involved. And so then he was rather nervous because there's a lot of steps that you have to take and you have to do absolutely perfectly along the way. And he's 90 years old. 90 years old is a lot of steps. And so he did it. He was there. And so the most wonderful thing of it was not, he was worried most about when you lose your gravity and then when they were floating in the capsule, because right after that happens, you have to buckle everything up, and it's a lot of steps to have to take. But he did that successfully. He was worried, so he was fine. And then he started to relax. And on re-entry into the Earth, he saw, like astronauts in the past have seen, our beautiful, beautiful Earth. And it was a total epiphany for him, how wonderful it is, and how many systems our cosmos has that makes everything work together. And it was just incredible, just so incredible and amazing for him. So I urge you now, as you walk upon this earth, do so with gratitude and also with love, light, and peace in your heart. Thank you.